Pull the Bob.
Do that to me.
And we're on.
I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Tracy White.
And I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation podcast. Nicely done, fellas.
Yeah, right? See, I can fade to black because I like being useful.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
Please edit that. So,
All right, we're back. Okay.
how to clip the mic.
It's all good. No worries. No worries. All right, guys, another Monday night, and welcome to the podcast. Glad you're with us tonight. As usual, it's a Monday, and so there's all kinds of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to start over here to my right, where Mr. Morey and I couldn't be here with us this evening, but Jake is back.
Yay!
Oh,
Thank you.
how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. Tired from a long week last week and a tough day today, but no, I'm doing good. Yeah. So, weekend was fun. Just hung out with just Colette and Harper and just had it really low key. Didn't do much. Worked a little Saturday morning, but other than that, yeah. So my little brother's coming into town next weekend. So that'll be a lot of
Really?
fun.
I didn't realize you had a little brother.
Yeah, he's 9 years younger than me.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's there's my older brother and I, and there's 9 years, and then there's my little brother and little sister.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I do remember, because we were just talking about your parents being with us. I remember this now.
Yeah,
Thank you for mentioning that.
so he's coming out, and that'll be fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna, go on some hikes and show him around town and just hang out at the house. And
How fun.
yeah.
Where's it coming from?
St. Louis. Yeah.
St. Louis,
So,
okay.
and actually, it's beneficial too to my work side of things because he works in IT, specifically like networks and servers and stuff.
Wow.
So I'm gonna bring him in and have him evaluate our system.
Nice.
And hopefully give us some good, pointers and a good setup for how I can improve the office side of things.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, we
yeah,
can do
that'll be.
that.
So we'll do that Tuesday morning before he flies back. It'll be good.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. And again, I'm seeing your goatees coming back.
I just I just
I've
haven't
just been
shaved in a
teasing you a
week.
little bit because I miss those days where I could just shave and I suddenly look 5 years younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got real sick of the goatee, so it comes in waves. I like it, and then the one day I wake up and go, I can't stand this anymore.
I feel ya.
Get rid of it. Yeah.
And one day it might happen to your hair, and then you'll start cutting it real short.
I should.
That's right. It's like a shape I had one time and it never came back. I don't know what happened. It's just so. I've got like right now I've got this kind of mad scientist hair because I need a buzz. So I don't wear my hat more than I
Doc Brown?
usually do. Yeah, Doc Brown. I had the Doc Brown thing. We gotta just let it keep growing out like that.
Come on.
No, Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Jake, glad you're here, man.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to add before we move on?
No.
Happy to be here.
Yeah,
That's
happy
what
to
we
be here. Yeah.
All right, Pastor Bob. I almost said Bob White again. Right? Bob Nelson. Good grief. I'm not. Who knows what? I'm not as loopy as I was last week, but
almost there.
How are you doing,
Yeah,
Bob?
no, I'm doing really good. So it's Fridays that are the bad days for me now. Friday's the new Monday in my world.
Oh, because of your work
Yeah,
schedule.
it just just because of what happens. Like today was barely any work, and I'm like, it's like okay, nice to sit back, relax, and twiddle my thumbs a little bit. I'm okay with that, but Friday's coming, and it's unlike that really great, the doom is full, but Friday is coming. You ever heard that one? This is Friday coming. It seems to not be a good thing for me anymore.
Oh no!
I don't know what it is. It's just everybody waits until Friday to make my life miserable. So yeah. But other than that, doing really good. It was a nice, relaxed weekend. And then I went on a 20-mile hike last Tuesday.
Yeah. Those pictures you posted were great.
Relaxing.
Yeah, it was for me.
That's a good. That's what I want to do too. I want to get out and do some hiking
on the Colorado Trail, which is what you had thought about doing some section hiking until your foot went no.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the
that's
year,
right.
and I've been really sad about that. But I guess just God was just saying, hey, no.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet.
Exactly. So it was section 6 of the Colorado Trail, which is the longest section that they have. So only did about a third of it. 10 miles in, it's a 30-mile total section, and then 10 miles back out. So.
Yeah, that's the trick about section hiking too, because it's over 500 miles the whole thing.
Just under 5.
Is it just under right at 5?
479, something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty close anyway. But
it's a long trek.
It's a long trek. You can't do it in a weekend. So if you go from one place to one section to the end of it, you have to have somebody either pick you up, or you have to drive to that spot, have somebody drive you back to the beginning of it. You hike it, get your car, and go home.
Yep. So I did find through a friend of mine who we're starting to think about hiking a good chunk of it in a couple of years. Anyway, and so there's a section hiking group that on Facebook, and there's like they're shuttle angels.
I was about to say.
So yeah,
that would be fantastic.
There's ways there are ways around it if you can arrange it. So. There's things that you can do.
Angels.
So,
I'll drive the bus.
There you go.
Well,
easy part.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Bob. Awesome. Anything else you want to add before we move along?
I can't think of we'll address it when we get to, I'm sure, the rest of the conversation.
I'm intrigued.
Stay
About
tuned.
yesterday.
Don't go away.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about it.
Yep.
We're going to
Okay.
talk about it.
Just
Tracy White.
I am
How are
here.
you, friend?
It is Monday. It was a good, hard working day, taking Friday off, so I don't have to worry about, what's coming up on Friday.
that just moves it to Thursday for me.
Yeah. We're going to Texas for a family reunion this coming weekend, so won't be here either on Sunday or Monday, because we'll be traveling back Monday.
Yeah,
we
probably
might
oughta-
actually
yeah.
be back in time for podcasts, but I'm going to be wiped out from.
I'm really
12
taking
hours
that
of
day.
driving.
I'm taking that day, man. It's
Yeah,
here. We're going to celebrate doing nothing. So
There
it's
you
going to
go.
be fantastic.
What
That's
better
the way
way
to
to
do it.
celebrate Labor Day than nothing?
Yes.
Labor, nothing.
Right?
Except having a baby or something on Labor Day. I always thought that would be fun. Some ways.
So
It's funny for us men. Labor. Yeah, like we have any idea.
Everybody go to
We
work
have
on the
no
boat.
idea.
Speaking of babies, my niece's new baby was just born. It's her first, so my sister is now a grandmother.
Cool.
First time.
Congratulations.
They're going to tell you that you and Kathy were having another baby.
What are you smoking?
It's Colorado. It could be a number of
Yeah,
things.
right. If we were, it would be a miracle.
Ah.
So, but
Right. Right.
anyway, so little Ozzy was just born. There's a chance that we're going to be able to see him passing through Abilene on our way down to family reunion.
Oh,
and so we're
great.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the other part of the good news is my oldest, Andy, and then Jade and Coraline, my grandbaby, are planning on being there at a reunion as well.
Oh, great.
So I'm looking forward to seeing
What? That's going to be awesome.
Coraline again. I guess Andy and Jade, I'd love to see them too, but Coraline, really, my grandbaby. I wish we all lived closer. So
As a grandbop, I totally get you.
yeah,
Grand
yeah.
Bob.
And
Everything
then,
Bob. You just
and
put Bob on me and everything.
Emily experienced her first hurricane. She was in
Yes.
the levee. I mean, they live in the levee,
Yes.
in the perimeter of the levee. And they rode out the storm, her and her roommate. And that was her first hurricane. First time living at the coast,
Oh,
so. But of course, power's out, and they were like, "Oh, well, I guess we got to go." Right? So they took off, and they're actually driving to Austin, Texas. And I'm thinking, so her plan was not to be at family reunion, and I'm like,
since
Austin's
you're
not far
so
from where we're
close.
going to be for reunion. She's like, "Oh yeah, so maybe we'll."
Oh, good. I hope that works out like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I got to say before we move on, too, this is like one of my favorite shirts that you wear.
Yeah, I like it. It's my
It
drummer
goes-
shirt.
I wish I could zoom in. But it's not.
It's, I don't know. It
Little-
looks like it shows up pretty well on the.
Leonardo,
Yeah.
Leonardo, the drummer.
the drummer
The drummer. Yeah.
of drums.
There you go.
Awesome.
So that's us right now. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing good. All things considered, I'm doing really well. Now, we always talk about Mondays, but today at the school, we were we were short. We
I
had
don't think you're that short.
No, I'm short.
You're average.
5'10". I'm right 6 feet. No, but we were down one of the people who work in this classroom.
Yeah.
And Jake, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I work with autistic kids, right?
Yeah.
So it was me and Lewis and Heather, right? None of these guys. Lewis sometimes watches, I think. Hey, Lewis.
Hi, Lewis.
Hey, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Sometimes. I don't think she ever watched the podcast. But anyway, but we had a number of kids and a lot of runners, and then we had a new kid today. Let's see. Throughout this day, I got all my steps. I didn't have to do any running or walking today. Let's see. One kid peed off the top of the thing on the playground. Another girl did underneath the thing on the playground. I had a kid trying to bite me. I had kicking. I mean, it was all kinds of stuff. So there was this one moment that was just like, I wish I had video of it. Because Heather has just proved herself to be the most amazing autistic teacher. She's not autistic, but I mean autism teacher ever. Because it was one of these moments where it's like, wait, stop, wait, whoop, boom, out the door, whoop, back, come sit back here. No, sit right. You do this, whoop, whoop. And I was doing the thing. It was like, ping, 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 ping. It's like, what's going on? But anyway,
this many arms.
Yeah. and again, just excellently executing these things. But man, I was so wiped out by the time we got to this end of this day. But it was a funny moment that I was like, if I'm not doing this, I'm going to kind of miss these kinds of moments. Yeah. Mostly because they're so crazy and so goofy. I don't know where I could get that kind of entertainment on a Monday. So anyway, here, just to give you an idea. I shouldn't have this, but I still have it. Fire truck. That's the way this one kid says it. Fire truck.
I love it.
So it's like the perfect, I don't know, right now I'm in that perfect kind of balance between the, pastoring and getting into deep subjects and preaching and leading and casting vision and into scripture, using my degrees and what have you.
And fire twat.
And in fire twat, right? And running around and getting
a great balance.
But it was, I've said this to a number of other people. I mean, it was not what I had intended, as you guys may know already. Mm-hmm. I was just going to get a little, second thing and was going to work at the school. It was Lori, the principal, who said, I have the right perfect place for you. And I didn't even realize I was going to be working with autistic kids. I was like, are you sure this is where I was supposed to be? What have I gotten myself into? But it's been awesome. And even today I had... I've had so many conversations with really other teachers and other people who work at the school. In fact, at the end of the day, it was another one of these moments where I'm getting ready to leave. Leona comes and walks in because she works at the school too, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah. It's a wonderful thing. So she's walking up because she left her phone at home. So she goes out to say what time she was leaving. And another person who works at the school came into the room right then, and she was like, hey, Johnny, can I ask you like a religious kind of question? And I said, no, I don't speak about those things at school. And then I was like, I'm just kidding. What are you about to say? Hey, step into my office. Do you need to be private? So we sat down at the little table here. And it was a fire truck. Let's talk about the Lord. No, but it was just kind of cool because it was like immediately I thought of what I was talking about yesterday in the message about that very kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So anyway, very wearying but very good day. I'm like, it's the kind of deal where Calvin and Hobbes, you have the grass stains on your knees and you're exhausted and you got little things in your hair because you really fully seized that day. I think I'm gonna sleep pretty good tonight.
So you seized the day. You carpe
it kind of seized me, to tell you the truth.
The diem carpe you?
The diem carpe me. I've been carpe'd. But anyways, yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm not just ignoring anything. I'm actually bringing up
the funny thing is, I just gave you the top highlights. I mean, this was one of those days. Now, I'm not kidding. It was like I started losing count. Like even at lunch, it was just stupid things. I have this very short period for lunch. And I've been bringing these salads. Leona has bought these little pre-made salad things because I got to lose this gut, man. It's just, starting to see the videos and go, no. Nobody else cares. But I'm just looking and go, man, who are you? You know? So,
wait until after Christmas, so you can do your
that can be Santa.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, but I had the salad, and I only had so much time, and this one kid, I couldn't get him to get off the playground, and they do this little thing. I mean, I have been trained in certain ways that I can help move kids, where I'm not picking them up, I'm not whatever, but I can maneuver. There's certain kind of things you can do to help them stand and get going.
Sure.
All right, so with this kid, he is new. He's a kindergartner. He's autistic, but he loves the playground so much, and it's so new to him that saying it's time to come in, he doesn't like that. First he runs like it's a game. This is not a game, dude! You know, I'm like, come on!
So you're playing it?
If I chase you, you think it's a game. If I stand, you just keep going anyway.
Yeah.
But he kept doing this blob thing where he was just on the ground. And I was like, I full of that. So I had to radio for another person to help me get him going. So I'm like, I go to lunch at the end of that part. And so now I'm 6 minutes into my lunchtime, which is already short anyway. And so it took some time out of my lunch. I'm supposed to technically take it, but I knew we were down on people helping. So I'm sorry to dominate this. I just had to get it out real quick. But that'll be fine. But I just didn't, I felt guilty putting that on those guys. I mean, I'm going to take my extra 5 minutes or 6 minutes. So now I'm just going to eat. So I went out. And I usually go out behind those temporary buildings, on the west side of the school. You guys know where that is. Mm-hmm. That's where the shade is, and that's where nobody is. I can look at the mountains, and I can just chill for 25 to 30 minutes and eat my lunch. So I open this thing up. I have all the time. I usually take off my mask. I take off my hat. I take off my radio, get all the accoutrements, put them down, open up my lunch, right, pull it out, and it's packaged. So I have to pull the thing off, and I look at it, and I'm going, what is going on with this stuff? And there's another package, and in that package there are two more packages, right? So there's a package with the dressing in it, and then some cheese things, and so, that kind of thing.
Puzzle wrapped in a conundrum.
Okay, so I pull this one open, put that in, put this one open, put it in, and then the cheese. I'm like, what is going on? It's like, what? Do I have to bite it? It's like, I keep looking at my watch. So I couldn't get the thing open. Then finally I got it open, and I realized I had, with the ranch dressing, I had it on my pants. On my hands, I had no napkin. So I'm like, well, I had this old man hanky I carry every now and then. I never, ever, hardly ever use it. But I pulled that thing out. I was like, okay. I opened up the salad, and I'm like, where's the fork?
Oh, no.
I was like, looking at watch again. These always come with a fork. This must be a different kind. I was like, oh! I literally did a Homer Simpson. Don't! So I set that to the side. I went, okay. So I get the mask. I have to put it on. I go back to school. I get my hat and my radio. Go all the way back through. Go all the way to the teacher lounge deal. I get a fork. I get a napkin. Make my way back out there. By the time I sit down to start eating again, I look at my watch. I was like, I have 10 minutes left of lunch, and I hadn't even started eating. And then I looked down and I saw the black fork in my.
Oh no!
It was there. I was like, "Are you kidding?" Anyway, there's like 10 things kind of like that in this day.
That's funny.
But it is funny looking back at it. All right, I'm done.
That's what
you guys have some talk.
You
go run it.
Thank you, God, for the lesson in patience.
It was goofy and hilarious all at the same time. So. Yeah, those kind of days go by quickly, and again, like I said, it's kind of fun in a weird way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, you guys talk. Have a good time.
Who needs a gym when you're chasing all the kids?
Right?
Yeah.
Or
I was chasing the kids in the gym. Oh, so stupid. So I had 2 forks anyway. All right, what would you guys like to talk about?
You could eat faster that way.
I should have done that. I had never eaten anything so fast at all because I was trying to eat my jaw hurt. I was like,
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but whenever I think about 10 minutes to eat, I'm like, yeah, plenty of time.
Military.
I'm sorry.
I thought of you today.
No, I mean,
I thought of it as I was eating
is
quick.
like normal.
Yes, I'm eating that whole bowl like that. I thought about that. And different people I've known in the military, and they've been in it so long, and then they come home for Thanksgiving or whatever, and there's Thanksgiving dinner. Like, no, you got to slow down, man. It's Thanksgiving.
It's hard to slow down.
All right.
But yeah, so
The prep.
Bob.
Yep.
Bob, I know you have a lot on your mind.
I know. Yeah, I was
Share
going
with
to
us
say.
tonight.
So that I should have known that things were going to go awry because everything was going really, really good right at the beginning. Record was hit.
This is Sunday we're talking
Sunday,
about now.
all Sunday. Yep. Everything was we were recording. We started at 5 minutes. We're only like 30 seconds behind on getting everybody up to play despite all the chatter, which was great. I mean, that was awesome listening to the chatter ahead of that. And then so everything's going good. And then we break for coffee, no problem. Then we come back for coffee. Click. And so here's my pun for the thing. So Johnny, I'm afraid you got a little power trippy.
Hey, a little power trip.
Because you tripped on the power.
I tripped on the power.
Yeah, then things did not go fine.
Everything reset. Everything got weird.
Yeah, took 2 times to reset things, and then if you can see this on this camera right here, this little red button was not going. That was white on the other side when we came back on, and that's why we had no sound.
That's why we had no sound.
Yep.
Well, it's just another reminder too. I mean, with all sound things and all that aside, we did everything we could.
Yep. We
even had the checklist of things, which I'm glad. There's that kind of order of stuff to do when something goes wrong. But sometimes, no matter what you do, it's still gonna mess up. So, but it's a reminder. More people who can help and participate in those things would be great.
Yeah. Well, we did get it back, and everybody in the room
got a really good message.
Everybody else missed about 12 minutes, right?
That was the best part.
It was a really good setup for the rest of what you were talking about. So it was such a bummer.
It's okay though. I mean, honestly, I really think that God allows some of these things to happen.
Sure.
It keeps us kind of on our toes. Yep. We got to fix things and get a little better. And also, it added to conversations like the one I had today with a person who hasn't for many weeks. She said it had been a couple of weeks, but she was trying to be a part of the service. But what that did was it gave me an opportunity to talk with her about that and say, I'm proud as punch of you for trying to be a part of her. And she, by the way, is moving back into Aurora, so she's going to be closer to us anyway. So it gave me a chance to also say, hey, come be a part of things. Yeah. I was just really pleased that she was trying, because I thought that maybe she had just grown cold on that.
Despite that, we still had like 6 or 7 people on, trying to watch.
Yeah.
So, and eventually actually watching.
It's just that people are trying is a positive thing. Right. We don't want to be like that every week. I mean,
no.
Because we do. I love it when our services we're online, and we do have a number of people that join us online, and they feel like they're in the room with us.
Yeah.
They can say something. I say something to the camera back. So it is a bummer when that happens, but
Yeah.
It's still a good reason to come in person.
That's right.
Now remember,
if you can make it.
That's right, because we have great people. Your sister-in-law who joins us. We have a number of people who watch. Cindy in Michigan.
Yeah, Cindy in Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah, and even a few people around here who haven't gotten the courage yet to come back and be part of things in person.
Yep.
There's at least one of those guys, but they've engaged every week. So
yep.
It's one of those things where it's like, yes, it's great to have them here, but if someone's engaging with our service every single week, good things are going to be happening in their heart and life. So
yeah, I agree.
So we want it to be, frictionless, to use an old business line.
There you go.
Business gobbledygook. What do you think, Jake?
I agree with everything.
There, you missed all the fun.
I didn't know anything wrong was happening.
Yeah,
I was just enjoying the service, and it was good.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't distracting for you, then you did a really good job.
Good job,
getting
Bob.
it all back. So.
And in fairness, Bob's not our sound guy. He just has been stepping into that role.
Yeah,
and I appreciate it very much.
It's good to know. I'm enjoying doing that.
Yeah.
That said, at the same time, still would like other people to learn that process. So if you're ever interested, by no Harper.
Guys,
ask him on camera.
Yeah, right.
What's he gonna say?
Harper, push all the buttons.
Right.
Yeah,
That'd
you had more of those issues showing up.
Oh, it might turn out better.
Speaking of
Hey,
friction,
weird
Be a lot
filters.
of fade in, fade out stuff. Yeah, filters, different animations going across the screen. Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
Well, all right, anyway. But yeah, that was a bummer. But honestly, everything in the service itself, I felt really good about. I felt, everybody was engaged with it. The songs, were going really well too. Though we have to acknowledge this for a minute, because I laughed. Michael and I sat on the couch and watched, Facebook Watch on the TV. Right, we were watching, and I kept rewinding it because we were laughing so hard. There's that moment where the guitar went wonky out of tune.
Yeah.
And he switched.
So he decides, and this is wise. I was proud of him for making this call. I'm not going to keep playing this. I'm going to change guitars. And as soon as he sets it down, it clonks around. So Mike, so he has this little thing where he goes, and I kept rewinding that. Because he's like, well, it wasn't my guitar.
Oh my goodness.
So I was laughing until I was crying with him. And that's a very good thing. I love that.
okay. The funny part is, if I'd have been half a bit more, I would have moved it over to the center camera, because then it would have missed it completely. So,
well, thankfully, Melissa gets, she steps in, puts it back in. And then I hit something. The thing I was laughing about was on Praise Ye the Lord the Almighty, that last song that we did before the message.
Just written in 1680, the lyrics were written. And then
1680.
in German,
those worship tunes from the 80s.
And then, from the 80s.
The
1680s. And then translated in 1863 to English. Pretty old.
Loud kids
What a
with their long
great
hair and
song.
Baroque music.
Yeah.
all Baroque there.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I love that song. I love that we did that song. I like the vibe of it. I like the kind of hook that it has. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, near the end, I was gonna play in the high register on my keyboard.
Oh.
I don't know what happened. It was just the complete wrong chords I was playing with my right hand. So this sort of bang, 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 but then I got back on it.
It is all
So that's
right.
what cracked me up. If you were curious, that was what made me laugh.
Oh, that's what you were laughing
Yep,
at.
I was like, what?
Before the break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good vibe in the room. I enjoyed that part of the service, that everybody was there. Even in the message itself, there are those moments where, we cover very serious, life stuff. I mean, we laugh a lot, but, part of it too is to give us a little bit to soak in the tough stuff we're dealing with from Scripture there. But it was great at the right moments that the room would erupt in laughter at the right moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just that we were kind of all together, and that's a good vibe. I liked it.
There's two things that you talked about that I thought were one, I never really put it together, and then another one that I've been giving the theme or the idea behind it some thought about people trying to discredit Mark, right?
Yes,
because why would you go up to go down, and but there's good reasons for that, right? Well,
Sure,
maybe he was a little closer to where was it, to Sidon before going down and something like that. Maybe he just wanted to go that way.
Maybe someone goes
Who cares? I don't know how that discredits, but oddly enough, in my YouTube, you know how the YouTube algorithm, it picks out things to suggest that you watch, and one of them is a channel called,
This is one you want to promote?
I don't want to.
Okay, so there's this channel.
It's a channel that is all about disproving.
There's a number of them.
And I actually watched one of the videos, and I'm like, that's the dumbest thing.
Yes,
Because you grab onto this little bitty snippet, and you try to discredit everything based on this one little bitty thing.
Yeah.
That really, whenever you look at it, it doesn't make a difference in the first place. And it would be a thing like that. Maybe he just wanted to go that way. Right. I mean, why make a big deal out of it?
It says by way of Sidon. And again, for those who may not have heard, we're talking about Tyre, the region of Tyre here, and then there's Sidon up here, and then the Sea of Galilee is down here. Yeah. And Mark's gospel says that Jesus went to the Sea of Galilee, but
by way of Sidon.
By way of Sidon.
Yeah.
And so, so the skeptic goes, well, that doesn't make any sense. That's not the fastest way to get. But again, they're walking everywhere they were going, first of all. And so your first thought is not what is as the crow flies the fastest way to get there. But it is typical. That I've seen that same kind of thing. I want somebody to look at some of these passages and go, whoa, that is amazing, because that couldn't have been planned that way. Little things like, and again, I didn't prepare for our podcast tonight, but I'm trying to go back to the feeding of the 5,000, and one suggests that this happens around the springtime. Another just simply says that they sat down on the green grass. And these are two totally different accounts that kind of cross-validate one another. Anyway, there's stuff like that that's far more like, that kind of validates this thing. But yeah, there are some people out there, and they do a simple reading. They're not even looking at context most of the time.
Well, and it's not the only time it happens. When Jesus visits the Samaritan village and with the woman at the well, he said the passage says he had to go to Samaria, and that way they didn't have to. There was a way around it. Oddly, it is the fastest way to get through to where he was going. But Jews didn't do that because they didn't want to deal with the Samaritans.
Right? Exactly.
But he had to go,
and there's a reason he had to go, and it's because there was. I'm not going to say the divine one. I'm going to say he went to meet. He knew she was going to be there. You know, it's just like with the demoniac, right? Way back in chapter 5, which is a word
that I never, really used. Demoniac.
Yes. Demon possessed.
No, the other thing I was going to point out was
demoniac.
Bringing back full circle what happened. With that. That's and that he was there before. And between that past time and this time, the view had changed, and which was.
I think it's amazing. I mean, that whole bit that Jesus, and again, it's been months and months and months since we were way back in the Gospel Mark, because we do this like once a month, right, Jake? So you miss a little, you miss a lot on the big Sundays. But it goes back a ways. But that it's almost as if he was like, this is why we're here, guys, is to deal with this, cast these guys in the pigs. And he didn't leave because of the pressure, but their reaction was, please leave this place. But they did leave. It was like, this is kind of why we're here, now we're going to go. And then time goes by, and the next time he's there in that Decapolis region, people have heard of him. And why have they heard of him?
They're coming out
this
going,
guy.
Hey, can you heal me?
Now, there may have been some talk already, from what's been happening down in Palestine, but still, it was a positive thing rather than the negative, please get out of here. This one was interesting, and this is why I stopped. Not because, it was twofold. We were at that point, it was warm in the room.
It was warm.
And I could tell everybody was like, that's really cool, but I'm about to fall asleep. It's like... And I knew I didn't have a lot of time, and this next bit is mind-blowing as well. There's that much stuff, and when I first started studying for this particular passage in the Gospel of Mark, I was like, Lord, what do you want us to... What's here? What is it you want to get from this? And there's some stuff that's not right on the surface, but it's there, and it's there in the words that are being used, and why they're being used, and where... he's saying these words, or rather, the choice of words that Mark uses is significant. So that's going to be fun.
That's going back to the discrediting thing. A lot of the people think that the Gospel of Mark is really primitive and it doesn't have a great structure, and they are so wrong.
They're so wrong.
It is
really
incredibly complex. When you start looking at it, there's this thing called chiasmic. Oh man, I'm forgetting. something like chiasma, where there's
big words.
things are structured in rings. So when you look at like one passage on the outside of it, you'll have two related passages on the outside of that, and so it's like little drops that ripple through things.
We mentioned Mike Winger. None of us know him, but we've seen his
I've seen his videos.
Well, he describes it as it's like a Mark sandwich, where it's like he starts a story here, there's a story in the middle, then he finishes this one, and it's like a
and it all ties together.
Yeah, it's very,
Mike Winger, if you're interested, look him up on YouTube.
Yeah, he's a guy on YouTube that he's a pastor. Yeah. He's a staff member at a church, I think, in California. But he unpacks a lot of these kinds of challenges.
Right.
But anyway.
He's an apologist for sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Apologist. That's not what I mean.
Apologetics.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Anyway,
That's more like it.
We have gotten to Two in the Deep Water.
We are
Monday Night Podcast.
We're at the end.
Oh my goodness.
By the way.
Oh man. We're sorry we didn't let you talk much tonight, Jake.
Don't worry about it.
Jake's always soaking it in. He's thinking about it.
Soaking it in, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I do that mostly. I'll like bring up one or two little things that I was thinking about. Y'all fill in the rest. So.
All right. Well, anything else before we wrap it up since we're out of time? Yes.
We're totally missing something.
Uh-oh.
We are.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Right here.
So the reason why we do all this and get together, and the reason why we can talk about Mark's gospel, comes from a gospel not Mark's. That's John, the Gospel of John, and it's John 3:16. This will be the wackiest way to get into John 3:16 ever.
Let's go to Gospel Not Mark's and let's find
Not Mark 3:16, but
John 3:16.
Tell us what that is.
Now I'm suddenly wondering what Mark 3:16 is. So with that, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. And it is, Morey likes to say, it's so important. Read it again, read it some more, and then start living it.
Yeah, there you go.
Good
That's
word.
It. That's it.
Love it. Thank you, Bob. Thanks for remembering that this time. And Morey said something great. We'll just take Morey's name in vain since he's there. He said something great that he says this at every podcast. It was something really early on. It was like the third podcast. I mean, we're like on now 70 something. I can't remember which one we're on. 75, I think. I think this is 76. But anyway, so way back, we started noticing that Morey suddenly would say John 3:16, and this was just me, Morey, and Tracy talking, and we just busted us up.
John 3:16.
John 3:16.
Yeah.
And so then it became a thing. And so one thing that Morey has said recently, and this is like Sunday, he said to me, is that he never wants that to become like a gimmick, right? So it's just some little thing we do. It's like on a hat. It's a little thing. John 3:16. It's like. Because it's so valuable and so important, and it's scripture, and it is genuinely important for us to be reminded of that every week. So,
yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps up this one pretty much. Anything you guys want to say before we hit some final words?
No, John 3:16 was me. That was it.
All right, final words.
Love you guys. Love everyone out there.
Love you guys. Likewise.
Okay.
Love you guys. I'm glad I'm here.
I love it. Grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I like how it's just kind of progresses.